Today I'm going to show you how you can make your own bingo cards in Photoshop. Hello my friends and welcome back to my channel. If you're new, I'm Sam and welcome to the Ellie Rose Party Designs community where we talk about everything to do with Photoshop. In Photoshop Friday we have bite-sized 30 minutes or less video tutorials on making party decorations in Photoshop. So let's get started. Alrighty, so to get started in today's tutorial, we need to upload our bingo templates. Now, you can find these templates in the link in the description box down below. And I have provided you with two different types of templates. So the first one is a US letter size template that will look something similar to this. It does look a bit wishy-washy, but bear with me and I'll show you exactly how it all comes together. And then you'll have something that's going to look like this, minus obviously all the decorations because I'm still in the process of making this bingo card. So this is a smaller version. Now these ones are going to be 5 inches by 7 inches or 7.5 inches, okay? And then this one here is obviously your US letter size paper. And what I've also provided you, which I think is pretty cool, is that not only are you going to have the bingo template, but if we take off that bingo the boxes for the bingo template, I've also provided you with the, if we take that off there, with the calling cards too. So all you would need to do then is just untick the ones that you don't want and you can upload your calling cards too, which is also a really great idea. Well, I think it is anyhow. Alrighty, so what we're going to do is we are going to get started and we are going to make a frozen theme bingos, and this is how it's going to end up looking, something like this. So I thought I would do frozen as this week's party theme for Photoshop Friday. Alright, for those of you that are new to Photoshop, you're welcome to check out my 4-day mini series on getting started with Photoshop. I go through all the different templates. It is a lot easier than people think it is. So feel free to check that. The link is also down below. Alright, so let's get straight into what we have in these layers. So on the right hand side here, let's just put them all on. Okay. So we have our copyright details, which is this one here. So you can untick that or tick that. Obviously you want to change that to your shop. So to do that, all you need to do is obviously make sure you have that selected. Click on to your type tool and then go ahead and click onto that layer and start changing it. Okay. So that is that one there. All right. So we will keep that one on. Then we have our bingo header, which is this part here. Okay. Now you can obviously change this to any particular theme that you're having. If you're having a Halloween theme, feel free to change obviously the fonts to that. Okay, so going down we have obviously our calling cards, which I explained a little bit earlier. For those of you that don't know what calling cards are, those are the ones that you would draw out when showing your players what is the next bingo card. Okay, so that's what a calling card is. So we're going to unmute that because we're not obviously going to be using that right this very second. Now we obviously have our boxes where we're going to be placing all the clip arts in. All right, so we want to keep that on there. The header is this one here. The reason why I have a header box is so that you can start creating any type of theme inside of this box, and you can use your clipping mask to add the decorations or the water, sorry, not the water, the where you can add your digital paper into. Okay, so I thought I would add in an extra box there, and then you have your main box, which is this white box here. Okay, so that there's pretty much just to give you a bit of a guide on a bit of a background. Okay, and then last is your little box that goes around there. Now I've added that in there, but of course you can add that in to yourself if you wanted to. But I thought I would add that one in, so it kind of breaks it up between the white and the white that's going in the background of your boxes. All right, so that can obviously be changed to the colors. All right, so that is with that one. And then if we go over here, we have a look at these little mini bingo ones. You will see that it's exactly the same. The only difference is that I've made 2 of them as opposed to just 1 of them. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is import my background. All right, and like I said before, we're going to go ahead and do a frozen theme. So I'm going to find my frozen clip art, which is over here. Now there isn't much clip art out there at the moment for Frozen 2. I did have a brief look at the new trailer, and the outfits are kind of similar, but Elsa does wear a different dress halfway through it, and I think so does Anna. I can't remember. So we're just going to go ahead and pretend that we're using the exact same clothing. All right. Alrighty, I'm going to go with this one here as my background. So I'm just going to click and I'm going to drag that straight into my design, which is there. All right, and I just need to bring it up a bit. Okay, and then I'm just going to hit enter, but I'm going to click that. First of all, I'm going to change that to background. All right, and then I'm just going to click and I'm going to drag that all the way down to the very last layer, but just above my background layer. Okay, and I'm just going to bring you all the way up, and I'm just going to duplicate that layer a few times because it was quite a small file. So let's just bring you there and let's drag you down to about there, and then let's do the same thing, copy and bring you down to about there. Okay, so what I would like to do too is, let's just try and match this up slightly. All right, so I'm actually going to click onto all 3 of those layers, and by doing that, all I did was hit the shift key to highlight all 3 layers, and I'm just going to right click and I'm actually going to merge those layers together so that they become my background layer. Okay, so it's 1 layer that I'm working with as opposed to 3 layers. All right, you don't have to do that, but I just like to do that. All right, the next thing I want to do is bring in my clip art that I'm going to be using, or my wallpaper that I'll be using for my header, which is going to go over here. Okay, so I'm going to go with, I think, this pretty color here. So let's click and drag you in, and I'm going to move you up to about there and hit enter. Now all I'm going to do is click and I'm going to drag that layer above my header box, which was this one here. Okay, so it's this one here. You can click onto it if you need to know which layer it is. Now all I'm going to do is a right click and I'm going to create clipping mask. Now all that it's done is obviously clipped that digital paper into this box, which is this one here. Okay, and then it has now formed a beautiful little background. All right, I'm going to now add in my Frozen logo. So let's find Frozen logo, which I did have one. All right, this one here. Click and drag you in there, and let's bring you up to here, and I'm just going to make you a lot bigger to about there, and then let's just bring you up, make sure that it's in the center, and hit enter. All right, now as you can see, it kind of does look a little bit washed out, so we're just going to add a stroke to that. So all we're going to do is go over here to the FX sign and hit stroke, and I'm just going to make you a little bit more bigger to about there. I think that works, and hit OK. All right, so there we go. So that is our header. Now all we're going to do is we're going to add in all of our clip art. This is how easy it is, guys. Once you've got the templates, it all becomes fairly easy. Okay, so now let's go ahead and bring in the rest of the clip art. So before we do that, I just want to let you know that this little rectangle box, you can obviously untick that too if you wanted to. All right, so you can have it on there, and then if you wanted to change the color of that, all you need to do is to double click onto this little square box over here, and then find a color that you want to use. Okay, or you just, yeah, so all you do is just find whichever color you want to use and then hit OK. So let's now bring in the different clip art. So I'll just bring in one clip art to show you, and then I will bring in all the other clip arts in a second. So let's go ahead and find the clip art we're going to be using. So I'm going to go with, say, Olive's little face. So let's bring him in, and I'm going to pop you. So the reason why you can't see him, first of all, so let's just hit enter, is because he is behind that layer. So let's drag and bring him all the way to the top. That way you know he's there. All right, so let's hit Control and T, and all we're going to do now is click and drag you down so that you can fit inside there. All right, so now there's a few different ways you can do this, but I'm just going with the easy way. All right, and it still looks really good. So I'm going to go ahead and now bring in all the other clip arts in, just to save time in this video, and then we will keep going. Okay, so I have gone ahead and brought in all the clip art that I'm wanting to use. So I just wanted to show you. So for instance, like this one here, Sven. Okay, I had the reindeer, the ears sticking out. Okay, so, and then also let's just drag you further in. So I'll just use my keyboard. All right. So if there's anything that's sticking out that you don't like, for instance, like there it is there. Let's just bring you a little bit up. Okay. I can see that Sven's little horns are sticking there. So all I do is I click onto that clip art. So make sure that the layer is selected. I just go over here to my erase tool. And if you don't have that one, you might have the magic mark. So just make sure you've got that one, the erase tool, and then all you do is right click and then click onto the one you want. Okay, and then I'm just going to click onto the clip art and hit OK, and then I'm just going to sit there and slowly just remove it like that. Okay, and then I just go through and I'll see what else I've got here. So let's just bring you further down, bring you further up. Let's have a look and see. You can go further down. You can go further down. So all I do is, let's just bring you further down. All I like to do is just use my erase tool, and I'll just sit there. You can zoom in a little bit, so let's just bring that in slightly. So hit Control and the plus sign, and then I hit the space bar, and it changes the cursor to a hand, and I'm just going to drag you up like that. Okay, and then I'm just going to go over here, and I'm just going to do that. All right, that's obviously not the best job possible, but you get where I'm going with this. And then I pretty much just go and have a look and see what else there is. So like Anna, she can be moved slightly but that way. I can actually make her a little bit smaller. Alrighty. Right, my frozen logo can be. And just a tip, you can actually take some other clip art. So look, this was a separate clip art and this was obviously my logo. So all I did was just add the two. So if you find that you're running out of clip art, just add a few things or add a background or whatever you want to do. Just keeping it simple. All right, let's just bring you down. So all this was just one clip art that I used, and then I just added, I just duplicated that layer. Right, and then let's just shave you up a little bit there and a little bit there. Okay, so I can keep going and going and going and going, but I just wanted to show you for this tutorial. All right, and that's pretty much it. Okay, and then all I did was just add in this free token that's over here. So I just brought in a clip art, and then I just added the font on top and then added a bit of a stroke around it just to make it stand out a little bit more. All right, but that's all I pretty much did with that one. So the same thing will be, so what obviously you would need with bingo cards, you need to make a few different cards because you can't give the person, you can't give 6 players the same card, okay, because then there's no point to it. So what I would then suggest doing is just rearranging it a little bit, you know, adding other different clip arts. But making sure your calling cards have all the clip arts that you have inside your bingo cards. Okay, so then I would then just like take this one and I'll put it there. So what you could do, just to make it a little bit easier, is grouping all of your designs together. So let's just go like that. So I would take all of those and I will put them into one little folder. Double click onto that and let's just say card 1. Okay, and then I can untick that and then you'll see that there's nothing inside there. All right, and then what you could do is, let's just duplicate that and let's change this to 2. Okay, but then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you and I'm going to pop you, say there. I'm going to take you and I'm going to pop you there. I'm going to take you, pop you there, take you, pop you there, take you, pop you there, take you, pop you in there, and whoopsie, and making sure I'm clicking on the right things and bringing you up there, and so on and so on. And then what you can do is then do the next one and then the next one. All right, so then it just becomes a lot easier to just go like that, but then obviously adding in more different clip arts too. Okay, and then once you've done that, all I would then suggest is obviously making your calling cards. So how do you do that? So let's just go over here and we're just going to turn you off, and I'm going to turn off my thing, and I'm just going to add in my my calling cards. All right, and then what I'll do is I'll turn you off, and what I will do is add in another layer that's a header, which will go over here. Okay, and then let's change this to saying, so I'll add this to the actual templates. All right, so let's click onto you and let's just reduce the size and reduce the size and bring you up to about in the middle and hit enter. And then what you can do is then switch that one off there. All right, and then I will change this to say calling cards header. Done. All right, so that way you can then switch that one off and switch that one on when you're busy doing your bingo cards. So then when you are saving this and you're giving it to your customer, they know, oh, those are the calling cards, oh, those are the bingo cards. Okay, so then what I would suggest once you've done that, so obviously your calling cards will have in all of the clip arts. All you need to do is I would then make another folder. You obviously will only have one lot of calling cards. Okay, so what I would suggest is that you duplicate one of the layers of your cards and then add those in, and then if you've obviously added any more clip art, you add those ones in. Okay, alrighty, so that is pretty much it. So these ones here, so once you've done that, so let's go back to our previous design. So we'll go like that, and then we'll keep you on, we'll turn you off, we'll keep you on. Let's see what else we want. We turn you off, we'll put you on, and we want that on, and that on. Oopsie, and that on. Okay, so once you are happy with your designs and you've done a few different cards, the next suggestion is we would then go to layers. Okay, and you go all the way down to flatten image. All right, and we hit OK. Now all of your layers have become one layer. All right, and then all we're going to go here is go File, Save As, and we're going to call this Frozen Bingo Card. All right, and then I'll just do bingo card number 1. Here, let's go to PDF because we want to save it as a PDF and hit OK. And then another box is going to pop up and we're just going to untick and hit save. All right, and then what I would do is go ahead and save the next one. So I'll go over here into my history panel and hit the previous layer that I just worked on, or action. Okay, I would then tick that and then open up the next one and save that one, and then save the next one, and then save the next one. All right, so here it is here. I'm just going to double click and I'll show you how it's going to look. All right, but also don't forget you would need to save your calling cards too. So you would have a few different bingo cards like this, but one calling card template. Okay, so I hope that made sense. I think I have covered everything that needs to be done with this template. If not, feel free to let me know in the comment section and I'll be happy to answer your questions. So the only other thing I would suggest is make sure that your clip art is transparent background or at least white background. All right, if you're going to have a white background on your cards. And that's pretty much it. All right, guys, I'll see you next week. Take care. Bye.